Hi everyone, it's Rad here again, and it feels so good to be making another YouTube video after so long. I know it has been about a year since my last upload, which is so crazy. It's so insane how quickly the year has flown by, but there is a good reason for the delay in my YouTube videos, which you can probably tell by the title of this video. So yes, I just finished my first year at Stanford now actually, and during the first half, while I was still home in Vegas, because we were completely online because of COVID, I was also competing in the National Miss World America competition, which was so exciting, a completely new experience, and I have so much to share with all of you. So I'm just making this quick update video to talk about that experience and Stanford Online, and I definitely plan on making a whole bunch of other more YouTube videos on being a pre-med at Stanford and what my experience was like during COVID on campus, because there is, again, so much to discuss. But yes, I competed in Miss World America, the national competition, which was an insane experience. It was so amazing, and I'm sure actually a lot of people have been asking my DMs or just in general, how did you even get into pageantry? This seems like a new thing for you, which it definitely is, and so I just wanted to share a little bit more about the whole experience, how I got into it, and it's been so incredible. So just a little background, for those of you who don't know, Miss World is the oldest running international beauty pageant, and it is such an incredible organization. Through it, I have gotten to meet so many incredible women from all around the country, competing with them in Miss World America. And so last year in 2020, I was crowned Miss World Nevada 2020, and then I got to go compete in the national competition and complete a whole bunch of different challenges, which was so exciting and so amazing. And so let me just backtrack a little bit, because I'm sure some of you are wondering, how did you even get into pageantry? Because I talked about I'm a student, I just started my first year at Stanford, I never grew up doing pageants, which I know a lot of other girls have, and so I just really wanted to talk about that. If you've seen a lot of my other YouTube videos, you know that something I emphasize a lot is my nonprofit organization that I founded when I was 16 called Real Autism Difference, or RAD, and I started it because my younger brother has severe autism, and in Southern Nevada growing up, there were just a lack of resources for kids like him in the community, and it was really important for me to start something and to actually put a dent in that existing problem. And so that was my full-time job throughout the latter part of high school, and now as an adult going out into the world, I still do whatever I can. I still run the organization, especially now that we're back with in-person programs because of COVID restrictions have lifted a little bit. I continue to run that organization, but really during the fall, especially when a lot of our programs were still online, I really did whatever I could to promote this organization on a national level. And so the great thing about Miss World is that the main thing that they emphasize is beauty with a purpose, which is basically a community service initiative or some sort of social impact that you are making in your community, which was my Beauty with a Purpose, which was my nonprofit organization, Real Autism Difference. And so essentially through competing in this beauty pageant, I also got to promote my nonprofit organization and share that on a national platform, which was so empowering and so incredible. All the while, I was balancing this whole other new experience of completing my first quarter of Stanford Online. So for those of you who don't know, Stanford runs on the quarter system. So instead of having 2 semesters, you actually have 3 quarters, which I know sounds a little bit weird because it's a quarter system, but they count the summer as a quarter, so you have 3 different parts during the year where you can take 3 different sets of classes. So my first quarter, which ended in about November, started in September, I believe. That was that first chunk. I was also competing in the competition, and Alyssa Anderegg got crowned Miss World America in October of 2020, which is so incredible, and she is so sweet. She actually came to Vegas, and we got to meet together and talk about our Beauty with a Purpose initiatives, which was so incredible. But yes, she won, and so I was competing in the national competition from August to October of 2020. So again, I know I'm backtracking with time a little bit. I honestly have not gotten a chance to sit down and make this YouTube video for all of you, but I really am so excited to start making these YouTube videos again, because there's so much I want to catch all of you up on. And so anyways, balancing that competition with, I know I've mentioned in other videos perhaps that I did decide to become a pre-medical student. So I am a pre-med at Stanford. So I was taking general chemistry and physics while doing this beauty pageant. And that was definitely a very time-consuming duo, I would say, between those two activities. And so I just remember my days. For example, like one day I woke up and I gave a live interview talking about my Beauty with a Purpose initiative. It was a Fox 5 interview right after I changed out of my beauty pageant clothes, and I went straight to a chemistry experiment in our garage. So what Stanford actually did, since we were online, is they sent us these massive boxes of different chemicals, different things that we would use in our chemistry experiments, and we actually had to go and conduct those experiments home, which was really great. We had demos, great TAs. I think Stanford did a great job of transforming everything to a virtual platform and making our online education great, at least to the best extent that they could. So I just remember kind of going back and forth and switching back and forth between those two mindsets of, this is a beauty pageant, but I also am a pre-medical student at Stanford, and trying to balance those two very different worlds was just so incredible. And I'm sure some of you are also wondering about, because this is another question I get a lot, what are the different phases of competition or areas of competition that you had to complete? And so I'm just going to briefly talk about that. Also, let me show you. This is the crown that we got, that I got from being Miss World Nevada. So it's like this, and it's got these little gems at the top. And this is also the sash, in case anyone is curious, because sometimes people ask me to send pictures. It's also on my Instagram. If you're interested in following at rad_shaw, I'll link that down in the bio below, so you can go check that out. But I also post updates a lot on my Instagram, so go ahead and give that a follow if you want to stay updated on all that. But to go into the different areas of competition that we had to complete. So for Miss World, and I'm not sure how familiar everyone is with the different beauty pageant systems there are, but I'm just going to assume not as familiar, because I wasn't super familiar before I started competing. And so a lot of different systems have, emphasize talent, they emphasize fitness, they emphasize different aspects. And the Miss World Beauty pageant, from my experience, actually has a lot more areas of competition compared to other pageant systems. So, for example, we had to complete a 15-minute makeup challenge where we had to do our makeup in 15 minutes on camera. We couldn't do any pauses. And it's very difficult to do that full set of makeup in 15 minutes, so we had to do that. And then we also had to do evening gown. We had to walk in our fitness wear. Part of the competition was influencer challenges, a live interview with a panel of judges, which was so incredible because I got to talk about my Beauty with a Purpose initiative, and the interview was primarily focused around that. The interviews in general, pageant interviews, are focused around that, different political questions in general, and so they really get to get a sense of who you are as a person, which I think is really important too, because they really do care about who you are as a person and what you're trying to do in your community, which I really love and I really value, and a large part of why I entered this pageantry system, and it's been so incredible because of that. And so there were also, again, I think, like I said, influencer challenges, there were fitness challenges part of this, and Beauty with a Purpose, and just different things we had to do. We had to film an intro video, a Beauty with a Purpose video, and so there were quite a few different areas of competition. We also had different workshops that we had to do. So I remember we had these multiple-hour makeup workshops, different workshops on how to walk, and it was just a whole new experience because, again, it was just something that I had never done before, and it was a big time commitment, absolutely, but it was also such an honor to just represent my state of Nevada and get to talk about something that is so important to me and go out into my community, volunteer at different events, and just really represent my state in that way. So I really enjoyed competing. It was such an amazing experience, and again, I apologize for the delay in YouTube videos, but I hope that this little brief summary of Stanford, while also doing Miss World America and kind of talking about that, acts as a good little summary for all of you. And I, again, am going to continue to update everyone on, just let me know what you are interested in. I really want to make content that all of you want to see, so I can make videos on being a pre-med student at Stanford, on just overall my experience moving there during the pandemic, because, of course, things were a lot different there. I think that this has been a really interesting freshman year. I honestly got the chance to do things, and I think a lot of us got the chance to do things that we would have never done before or never considered before. And that is because a lot of us were home during the first part of college, which was really unfortunate at the time, but good things came out of it for a lot of us. And so Thank you all for watching this video, and thank you for sticking with me as I had this little delay in YouTube videos, but I really appreciate all of you so much, and please leave comment downs below. Let me know what you think. You're always welcome to DM my Instagram. Let me know what kind of content you want to see. If you have any questions, I always do my best to answer questions. I know some people ask me questions on, I'm applying to college, what do you think about this? And I'm always happy to answer, always happy to help out. So yeah, just let me know, and I'm so happy to be back, and thank you all so much for watching.